when Zimmerman took the stand in that bond hearing, he was using it as an orchestrated, calculated method to try to win favor with the court. He misled the court. He misled them with his testimony, the things he said, and the things he did not say. George Zimmerman looked at my clients in their eyes, these grieving parents, and misled them. He told them that he was sorry, even though we believe that was very insincere, because he had so many opportunities to say he was sorry. And then he told an untruth in that apology, that alleged apology. He said that he did not know how old Trayvon Martin was, and on the night that he shot Trayvon Martin in cold blood, he said to the dispatcher that Trayvon was in his late teens. But now, today, we find out what is most important is what George Zimmerman did not say to the court. When he heard his lawyer, he heard his mother, his father, his wife mislead the court, either intentionally or unintentionally, by saying they didn't know anything about how much money was in this website, and they tried to portray themselves as being indigent, not having any money. Now we find out, and when his attorney asked him about money, they all wavered on the answer, never really gave us a straight answer. As George Zimmerman said in that courtroom, he knew the answer, and he chose to take the stand. And when he took that stand, he wants us to believe that he was being honest when he gave that apology, when we now know he wasn't even being honest, as he listened to his family say that they only thought he raised a couple of $1,000s. We think that the court should revoke his bond immediately, and he should be held accountable for misleading the court. We are emphatically saying that his silence was an indication of untruth. When he heard the testimony that he had no money, that he had no money raised in this website, he knew. Whether he communicated that to his attorney, whether his attorney solicited that information from him or not, he knew what the crux of the matter was at that bond hearing. And he, like his apology, was insincere in his silence, as well as what he said to the court. George Zimmerman raised his right hand in court and swore to tell the truth. He swore to be honest. He watched that whole proceeding and never once said a word to the court whether or not he had raised money in that website, when he knew he had raised over $200,000, and he kept claiming he was indigent, so he can get a very, very low bond by everybody's estimation. That was a low bond based on what he had told the court. Now, had the court known...
Okay, I've heard enough. I'll leave the links so that you can get to this yourself. But I've heard enough of the hogwash, because that's what I'm hearing here. I'm hearing total hogwash. For one, he had plenty of time to apologize. Hold on now. Let's back up a minute. He had plenty of time to apologize with 3/4 of the African American people across America protesting with the new KKK, the Black Panthers, wanting him dead or alive, and he's just gonna come right out and up and come right up to the family when he already knows that you would lynch him, and he's gonna say, "I'm sorry," so you can lynch him. You think he's fucking brain dead, right? Okay, for one. For two, when he said in the courtroom he didn't know how old Trayvon was, and considering, and even when you said, well, he said late teens at 911, late teens could be 19. That's right, that's still a teen. Late teens, 19. Okay? You was not in Zimmerman's head to be telling him that maybe that was the God's honest truth. After all, 6'3", 165 pounds, not 140 pounds. That was a lie by media. I mean, come on. Common sense. Common sense. Oh, never mind. The majority of you people don't have common sense. There's no way Trayvon would have been 6'3" at 140 pounds. Not possible. He would have had to been literally skin and bones. And I mean skin and bones. To even come close to being 6'3" at 140 pounds. So, no, that's just not so. Anybody that does their fucking looking into heights and stuff, I mean, you know, I'm sorry. I've been around the block a few times in my life, and no, 6'3", yeah, he probably was 165, 170 pounds. No lie. Fact. Okay? And to sit there and honestly say that George Zimmerman would know his age when he didn't even know the guy, I mean, you know what kind of hypocrite you sound like? And the last but not least, what the fuck does money have to do with justice for your son? Or for the kids, so you know, for Trayvon's parents? You may be the attorney, but let me tell you something. Yeah, you want money. That's obvious, right? But what the hell does money have to do with fucking justice? The guy was arrested like you cried out for him to be. He's got to go to trial. He's going to face a jury. He could be prosecuted and sent away for years, but that's still not enough for you. That's right, because that's how power and greed works. It wants more, more, more. That's right. You know, this is just sickening, okay? You're just fucking reaching for attention now. That's what this is about. Now we are reaching for attention to me. Attention to me. Please give me attention to me. I'm sorry to be a sarcastic asshole here, but this is fucking ridiculous. Okay? This is asinine fucking ridiculous. For this guy to actually honestly get up there and tell the world, oh, well, we stuck our nose inside his bunghole and we discovered he had more money than he told anybody. Okay, so he should have his bond revoked immediately because this is about money. No, this is supposed to be about Trayvon's death. Not about money. Money don't have anything to do with... That's not going to bring back Trayvon. Since when's money going to bring Trayvon back from the grave? It's not. The guy's on trial, just like you cried out and wanted. You ain't even giving it time for a trial to happen now, are you? And you're looking for other reasons because that's how power and greed works. Money has nothing to do with it. Because he wanted to raise money for the attorney. Oh, I know, you want him to have a public defender. You don't want him to be able to defend himself in the court of law. He's not right. He don't have a right to defend himself, does he? No. You want to strip him of any right to defend himself, and you'll say, well, he stripped Trayvon from defending himself like you were standing there. Like he was at the scene when it happened. When you know full well you wasn't. And you could be talking diarrhea out your mouth right now, for all I'm concerned. Because you don't know. Let it alone. Money has nothing to do with Trayvon's murder. The guy's on trial. And be fucking real. You got half the nation fucking up in arms, fucking protesting all over the country. You got the fucking new black KKK standing there offering a welcome reward for dead or alive, and you think he's going to step forward in the public and say, go up to parents and say, I'm sorry, so that you can lynch him? Like as if you wouldn't have lynched him. I guess you just think people are completely brain dead. Right now, the only one being brain dead is their attorney. Where did these parents find this clown? This guy's a fucking regular clown. I would be getting another attorney if I was you, because this guy's a fucking clown.